What's up, everybody? We are back once again to bring you a recap on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This video is late, a little bit late, not a lot.
Just a tad bit.
Because I was still celebrating my birthday. Corey took me to see Kiki Wyatt at the Howard Theater in DC. So we are bringing you this recap, as I said, a tad bit late. The episode aired last night, and we're bringing it to you today just that we, be consistent in bringing you these shows, even if we're out of town while they're airing.
Okay.
And this episode is titled Loose Lips, Sink Ships, and this is episode
14.
14, season 9. Okay. So let's jump right on in. I just know the episode began with Kandi being extra. Kandi is it's amazing because Kandi came on board on the Real Housewives of Atlanta being this fun, carefree. I mean, she said it like she meant it, and she was very truthful and honest, when she came on board. But now she's just becoming an asshole, like just annoying, and just being a drama queen. I do feel like she is trying to be the new Nene for some reason. And she was fine being just the way that she was. I feel like she had a very strong foothold in the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. So she was good to go. Nobody was going to get rid of you. You could have stayed exactly who you were and be true to yourself.
Well, back then, it's like she's the underdog at that point.
Okay.
Right
now she's kind of like Queen Bee.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she got to really bring it.
She in the middle. She got the peach in the middle on the, on the little screen.
That's
all of that,
true,
so.
But I think the things that we really love about Kandi are getting lost in maybe translation. Because even with this episode starting, it started with the ending of them discussing at the table the lesbian comment, which was really a insinuation of a lesbian experience or being in the closet by Portia. And for her to be so upset to where she couldn't ride back with the ladies, like, come on, worse things have been said about you and your family than you being a lesbian, which you kind of partially are if you're admitting that you have had lesbian experiences. And while that is actually bisexuality, what was stated about you was not false.
Right.
And it was still said based off of being like, shade. Y'all throw shade all the time. If people weren't going to ride on a bus together because they were offended by shade, then none of y'all asses would have rode on a bus together.
I feel like, and if this had been another person that this happened to, Kandi would have been the first person saying, like, but you couldn't ride back, like it's not even that serious. Blah, blah, blah. And you turn out to be the one who want to get a flight home or do something.
While she's calling somebody else fake, she comes across fake because when things apply to someone else, Kandi is all fine, well and good. She will check you, play down, what your concerns are. But when it comes to her, she can catch a flight and leave everybody else. So, anyway, what else happened in this episode?
Well, at the beginning, also, when the ladies actually got on the bus, they didn't know Kandi was gone. But you remember, what's her name, Sheree, was trying to get Phaedra to own up a little bit to her part.
Oh, yeah. I don't really think she was trying to get... Well, she did, you're right. Because Sheree asked Phaedra, you were very quiet. Why didn't you say anything? And she was just like, it just came out of left field, And so I was a little thrown off because I feel like if Sheree is going to be the quote-unquote bone collector, let's be consistent across the board, honey. Why would you put Portia out there for only insinuating that Kandi was lesbian when Phaedra actually gave you... She gave you a example and a person and a demonstration and everything else. So I'm like, that's a little bit backwards. But I do agree with Sheree when she said, my friend would have not left me out there hanging. And that's one thing that I do feel like is a little bit off with
the whole Phaedra and Portia situation.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that when we was watching it, I'm like,
oh God, this is not going to end well.
No, it's not. Because I would, if I had to choose anybody on this cast to be my friend, it would be Portia.
Yeah, definitely Portia.
Because she's a ride or die. She's a ride or die.
She's a ride or die, and granted, she has blonde moments, but I feel like her blonde moments aren't worth not being a friend, because even the issue with her and Kandi, if you really think about it, they really don't have an issue. They're playing this issue up. The producers are, and Kandi is, and whoever else is, for them to have some kind of conflict through this season. But if you really think about it, they really don't have an issue.
Right. No,
I mean, who cares if Portia blocked, or if she admitted, or if she didn't, if she didn't admit it? Who cares if Candy had been a lesbian? Like, what is their real beef?
There isn't. There isn't. But like we were saying, on the other hand, Phaedra gonna sit there and be dumb. She gonna be blind, deaf, and dumb when something is happening and she don't want to be involved in it. She's. And
while I will agree, because Phaedra was on Watch What Happens Live last week after the episode aired, and Andy asked, why did you not speak up? When they were talking about the whole lesbian thing, because you did say something, and she said, well, really, it came out of left field, and my intention for this trip was for us to bond, not really have any drama or issues. So me bringing in my portion would have only made things worse. So
that's true. But I do feel like back in the day, since we were talking about Candy back at the beginning, back in the day, Phaedra would have said something. If it was Candy and their relationship that they had back in the day, Phaedra would have stood up for Candy.
Yeah, I agree.
As opposed to how she's not standing up for. Well, it seems like she's not standing up for Portia.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So then we get to Candy, going back to the Candy Coded clique.
Oh yeah. See, this is
trip.
This is why all you damn Candy fans, I can't stand you, because y'all will defend her to no end, but never acknowledge that she is just as shady as everybody else on this cast. Because while y'all say she's so real and she'll own up to it, she is the only person that you see on camera running back to a whole entire clique, telling these girls' personal business. And it's not like she's running back to Todd, her husband, or running back to Carmen, her best friend. She's running back to a whole group. She's having a doggone camp meeting, okay, about these girls' business, and she always goes back to them and tells them. And we don't give a damn about that damn Don Juan with his messy ass. Like, he's the last person you should be including in somebody's business, because one thing about it is I will get with Carmen and whoever else and Todd sometimes, I feel like their opinions aren't always as biased. They're definitely always Team Candy, but they're not as biased as Don Juan comes across, because Don Juan comes across like he actually has a vendetta and an issue personally with these women. Yeah. While Todd's issue may be kind of because of what Candy goes through, Carmen is kind of what Candy goes through, but it's never like, their attack is never like they have an actual issue with the person personally. Outside of Todd and him wanting his money from Phaedra. But Don Juan acts like he actually has some kind of issue, and bitch, who are you?
I feel like they have to put all this in there with Candy
for Candy to have a storyline. Yeah, that's true. She doesn't.
They were reaching at the beginning of the season with that whole guy situation
with Block.
No, not Block. The other guy that she had to fire was still.
Oh yeah. That was reaching. Yeah.
I feel like this is just stuff this is Candy's last contractual year.
It is? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they keep reaching to give her storylines.
Okay. Well.
That's it. So in that whole situation, we see that Todd was the first one to bring up Phaedra.
As usual, and Ty shouldn't have shit to say about Phaedra at this point, because you have received your money. You were bitchy all last season and begging for the damn money. Now you got it. So leave her name out your mouth.
Okay.
But what's next?
We found out that Phaedra's divorce was finalized.
Okay. So Phaedra finalized her divorce, and I was glad that they actually showed that, because I was tired of the ladies continuously bringing up Phaedra's divorce. Like, it's none of your fucking business. Why do you care? And I'm confused. Like, I think last episode, Candy said something about, well, I heard that when your man is in prison, you can get a divorce quickly. Why the fuck do you care? Why is it relevant how long it takes for her to get a divorce? Like, that does not need to be said. I mean, if she doesn't want to get one, she doesn't want to get one. And if she does, she does. So I'm not really sure how that needs to play in this storyline. And even with Candy, you just said how badly she was over Apollo and why you didn't need to console her, and she was being fake and crying on camera, but yet you're asking, why is it taking so long for her to get a divorce?
Right.
Maybe because all that bullshit the tea you was trying to spill was not the truth. Yeah. And as a friend, you should be able to read through her saying that she was over it and maybe dating somebody else, that it just was not the truth.
Mm-hmm. And in all that, we got to see Portia's new home.
Oh, yeah. A cute home.
Cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like that conversation between Phaedra and Portia was kind of like to introduce the idea of Apollo's new girlfriend. Because potentially she's supposed to be on the show or something. But
yeah,
I feel like that's what that whole scene was about, in addition to finding out that her divorce was finalized.
Yeah, because they were saying something like, Phaedra was saying that, Apollo didn't take the conversation well, and but she doesn't realize she's not sure why he didn't take it well, because he has a whole girlfriend, fiance. He shared the information to Phaedra. It's public news, so it's like, why are you taking it so hard? You've moved on.
Right. So besides that, all we had was just, we got to see Riley singing.
Yeah, so as far as Riley singing, like, my thing about that is I'm not really sure that I'm comfortable with Kandi still talking about Riley's father. We had that little situation and topic addressed in the beginning of the season, and I feel like it should have been left there. I'm not even sure that Riley is comfortable addressing the issue, because the way she was in that booth singing and, not being sure of what she was saying, I feel like Kandi should have held off on that until Riley stated that she wanted to do something like that, because
because it didn't come off like she was really comfortable doing it and really wanted to do it. So
especially when Kandi acknowledged that when Riley was saying that she was over the issue with her father and it wasn't a big deal, Kandi said out of her own mouth that it clearly does bother her. So if it bothers her, why would you put this girl on TV and have her record a song that she's not really in the position to record,
yeah, emotionally.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was that. Cairo getting in that modeling gig.
Oh, yeah. That was,
well, we got to see that the Bailey agency was actually up and running.
Yes, the Bailey agency we thought was shut down, honey, but the Bailey agency is wide open. It has a moniker on the front doors, and Cynthia's in business. We thought that was closed. We thought that went to South Carolina with Peter.
She in business, but she ain't paying these kids.
Nope.
What Sheree said?
She said, you ain't got a damn $100 for the kids? Nothing? And then gonna offer one backpack. She was like, just one?
One backpack? So that brings us to the culmination of the episode, which was the meeting between Kandi and Portia at the end, where that scene was just so fake.
Yeah, the meeting with Portia and Kandi was so fake, because we know that these two are the most emotional people on the cast. When they're really defending themselves or sharing something that they feel is to be true, they get very passionate, loud, extra, and they were laughing and giggling through this whole entire scene. I'm like, okay, this, and while I think on both sides there was some fact and fix,
on both
sides, one side I think there was truth and what they were saying, but I just don't get why this was even a topic of discussion, because like I said earlier, who cares if Portia fucked the block, and who cares if Kandi slept with the woman? But I will say that I gagged when Kandi decided to tell Portia, and you wanted to eat my coochie, and Portia was like,
she said, until I
come. And Portia said, what? Who the hell wanted to eat your rotten coochie?
She said, I don't do teapots.
So I was like, that was not a real scene, because there was so many jabs that if you were really emotionally invested in that, you would not have been laughing.
Okay. Yeah, it was too much playful going back and forth. And then Portia going to tell her house was an international house of hoes.
Yes. And then Kandi just got up and they ended the conversation all respectfully and was like, well, girl, bye.
Yeah.
And then just left. So I was like, that was fake. So
that was to introduce, remember she said that Kandi had that 7-year relationship with the girl.
But is that supposed to show up on the show?
I feel like it. I don't know. That scene felt like a way to introduce that idea and to introduce that person. I don't know. We'll see. But
it didn't seem like, I feel like they didn't go over too much detail with it. I feel like it was something that was said. I'm just like, Kandi was saying things to Portia, and I didn't hear anything about a girlfriend coming into the play. But anyway, thank you guys for watching our recap on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And make sure you leave comments in the comments section. Let us know if there is anything that we did not mention that caught your attention so that we can chat about it in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Make sure you share the video and follow us on all social media outlets. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. What's up, everybody? We are back once again to bring you a recap on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This video is late, a little bit late, not a lot.
Just a tad bit.
Because I was still celebrating my birthday. Corey took me to see Kiki Wyatt at the Howard Theater in DC. So we are bringing you this recap, as I said, a tad bit late. The episode aired last night, and we're bringing it to you today just that we, be consistent in bringing you these shows, even if we're out of town while they're airing.
Okay.
And this episode is titled Loose Lips, Sink Ships, and this is episode
14.
14, season 9. Okay. So let's jump right on in. I just know the episode began with Kandi being extra. Kandi is just, it's amazing because Kandi came on board on the Real Housewives of Atlanta being this fun, carefree. I mean, she said it like she meant it, and she was very truthful and honest, when she came on board. But now she's just becoming an asshole, like just annoying, and just being a drama queen. I do feel like she is trying to be the new Nene for some reason. And she was fine being just the way that she was. I feel like she had a very strong foothold in the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. So she was good to go. Nobody was going to get rid of you. You could have stayed exactly who you were and be true to yourself.
Well, back then, it's like she's the underdog at that point.
Okay.
Right
now she's kind of like Queen Bee.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she got to really bring it.
She in the middle. She got the peach in the middle on the, on the little screen.
That's
all of that,
true, but I think the things that we really love about Kandi are getting lost in maybe translation. Because even with this episode starting, it started with the ending of them discussing at the table the lesbian comment, which was really a insinuation of a lesbian experience or being in the closet by Portia, and for her to be so upset to where she couldn't ride back with the ladies, like, come on, worse things have been said about you and your family than you being a lesbian, which you kind of partially are if you're admitting that you have had lesbian experiences. And while that is actually bisexuality, what was stated about you was not false. Right. And it was still said based off of being like, shade. Y'all throw shade all the time. If people weren't going to ride on a bus together because they were offended by shade, then none of y'all asses would have rode on a bus together.
I feel like, and if this had been another person that this happened to, Kandi would have been the first person saying, like, but you couldn't ride back, like it's not even that serious. Blah, blah, blah. And you turn out to be the one who want to get a flight home or do something. While she's calling somebody else fake, she comes across fake because when things apply to someone else, Kandi is all fine, well and good. She will check you, play down, what your concerns are. But when it comes to her, she can catch a flight and leave everybody else. So, anyway, what else happened in this episode? Well, at the beginning, also, when the ladies actually got on the bus, see, they didn't know Kandi was gone. But you remember, what's her name? Sheree was trying to get Phaedra to own up a little bit to her part.
Oh, yeah. I don't really think she was trying to get... Well, she did, you're right. Because Sheree asked Phaedra, you were very quiet. Why didn't you say anything? And she was just like, it just came out of left field, And so I was a little thrown off because I feel like if Sheree is going to be the quote unquote bone collector, let's be consistent across the board, honey. Why would you put Portia out there for only insinuating that Kandi was lesbian when Phaedra actually gave you... She gave you a example and a person and a demonstration and everything else. So I'm like, that's a little bit backwards. But I do agree with Sheree when she said, my friend would have not left me out there hanging. And that's one thing that I do feel like is a little bit off with the whole Phaedra and Portia situation. Yeah.
Because I was thinking that when we was watching it, I'm like,
oh God, this is not going to end well.
No, it's not. Because I would, if I had to choose anybody on this cast to be my friend, it would be Portia.
Yeah, definitely Portia.
Because she's a ride or die. She's a ride or die.
She's a ride or die, and granted, she has blonde moments, but I feel like her blonde moments aren't worth not being a friend, because even the issue with her and Kandi, if you really think about it, they really don't have an issue. They're playing this issue up. The producers are, and Kandi is, and whoever else is, for them to have some kind of conflict through this season. But if you really think about it, they really don't have an issue.
Right. Now,
I mean, who cares if Portia blocked, or if she admitted, or if she didn't, if she didn't admit it? Who cares if Candy had been a lesbian? Like, what is their real beef?
There isn't. There isn't. But like we were saying, on the other hand, Phaedra gonna sit there and be dumb. She gonna be blind, deaf, and dumb when something is happening and she don't want to be involved in it. She's. And
while I will agree, because Phaedra was on Watch What Happens Live last week after the episode aired, and Andy asked, why did you not speak up? When they were talking about the whole lesbian thing, because you did say something, and she said, well, really, it came out of left field, and my intention for this trip was for us to bond, not really have any drama or issues. So me bringing in my portion would have only made things worse. So
yeah, that's true. But I do feel like back in the day, since we were talking about Candy back at the beginning, back in the day, Phaedra would have said something if it was Candy.